Joining us right now, Ray Lucas. How are you,
spent
sir?
most
I'm
of
good.
your time with the Jets, right?
Yes.
J-E-T-S.
But you were
Jets.
originally taken by the Patriots, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Went to the Super Bowl. That's all I'm going to say about that.
You know what?
We're trying to forget that Super Bowl.
I
New
don't
England,
have
right?
any rings on my
Yeah.
finger.
I've noticed that half the people that go to the Super Bowl come away losers. That's just me.
Well, we won the game until we had one mismatch with Lawyer Malloy on the wide receiver that just ran right past him, and then I was on all special teams when Desmond Howard did the robot in the end zone.
Right.
I wouldn't even go to the sideline because Parcells is trying to figure out. The guy inside me got depleted, so he keeps coming down. When he went down this way, I went back on the field, went down the other way, because, I got to go back off on kickoff return. So I was like, I'm not going near that dude right now.
Yeah. So, Ray, he was trying to look for you probably, though, right?
He was like, who was it? I said, I don't know. And he should have known better because he's a Jersey boy like me. I don't know. I don't know anything.
And that's what they teach you in Jersey.
Absolutely.
Do you know anything, sir?
No.
I don't know.
I have
didn't
no
see
recollection.
anything. I didn't hear anything.
Right, so you went from the Patriots, you went from the Super Bowl team, and then you went to the Jets for the majority of your career. Then you ended up with Miami.
Yes.
At the end of your career. And how do you get – that's almost the entire AFC East.
And then I went to Baltimore for a cup of coffee after that. So,
yeah.
You know what? When you're in the division, people, coaches, they get to see a lot more of you. And, the year before I went to Miami, I lit them up. I beat Dan Marino 3 weeks apart. So,
We got to have that guy.
Yes. And
That guy owns us. We got to have him.
so it was good, and it's unfortunate that, the pain took over my life. I mean, I had a serious back injury, and they said, well, you could get surgery and you won't play again, or you could play with it and risk being paralyzed. So I was like, let's go. I'm playing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I was a competitive swimmer. And I was one of the best in the nation.
Yeah.
The injury risk as a swimmer is that you don't actually hit the end of the pool and you smack your head into the wall. And that's about 1 in a million. Okay, I've never actually seen that happen.
Right.
But the biggest risk of injury, there isn't one. Okay,
Yeah.
so as a football player, you guys get labeled with these gladiator monikers that you wear like badges of honor. It's almost like ink, bro.
It is.
It's like, I am a football player.
Yeah. Well, you didn't get there to the top level of your game without being a warrior.
Right.
And the worst part about the NFL is you're judged by your toughness. I mean, I remember, getting a high ankle sprain against Indianapolis, just so to speak, which is another thing we don't need to talk about. And then fracturing my skinny bone in my shin and being out in San Francisco and warming up on the field, ready to go.
And still playing the next
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Do you have a list of games you'd rather not talk about so we can make sure we don't talk about them?
No, I think
I get
the
sense
Super
there's-
Bowl is really the only one that's off
Super Bowl.
limits.
That's it. Super Bowl's off limits.
Yeah, I have a second place ring that's in the drawer.
They actually give rings for the
AFC Championship
But isn't
rings?
that like, why would you ever wear that?
I don't. Second place sucks.
Yeah.
That
I'm
thing's
sorry.
in the drawer somewhere.
If
I
there's
ain't wearing
anything that
that.
Ricky Bobby taught me, we had an Indy
Oh,
car
no.
driver on.
Ricky
He said,
Bobby.
if you're not first, you're last.
Yes, indeed. There is nothing
on fire.
after first place.
Sorry, we had an Indy car driver on earlier, and
Help me, Oprah Winfrey.
help me, Tom Cruise.
Oh, gosh.
So, yeah,
Ray,
honestly,
so talk
your
to us
career came
about
to a really abrupt ending.
past
Yeah.
and how past helped you understand that you were addicted. You were taking all kinds of painkiller
Dude, I
medication.
read you were taking 15 pills at a time for pain.
15. I was taking about 40 to 60 a day.
No, I'm talking
day.
per dosage
Wow.
kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Like,
Well, look, like when I was doing my TV show, I'd have to stop taking the medication the night before.
Okay.
So I'd go do the TV show, and it was the physical demand to get there. Like, I can't sit in the car too long, and I couldn't get out of the truck. So then I'd go do the TV show. I'd go down and get my truck at the parking deck, and I would take 30 just so I could make it back home.
Oh, my gosh.
And, it got to the point where you're calling everybody, the big machine, and nobody's answering the call. I was so depressed, I was contemplating suicide. So I had called the big machine and told this woman that I was going to kill myself. And she said, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Lucas, but we're in a fundraising phase.
what does fundraising phase have to
Wait
do
a
with
minute. You
someone's
told
life?
someone that you were thinking
I was
taking your own life.
going to kill myself.
Now,
And-
I have some
and she
tricks.
said
I
what?
used to be a shrink, so I got some tricks. You know what I was said?
What?
You know what, Ray? Tell you what. I'll see you first thing in the morning. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
You know how often that works? Every time. You know some people don't know about suicidal people? They handle their business.
Yeah.
If you have an appointment
we're
the next
talking
day,
about the big machine, baby.
Yeah.
and if you've got an appointment the next day, would you kill yourself that night?
Absolutely not. You
can.
It's a cry for help.
That's my foolproof plan.
So
if
me
you hear
being
somebody with a suicide, say, "I'll see you first thing in the morning."
Yeah. Well, now I know what to do. But when she said it,
we're in a fundraising drive.
I am from New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey.
You were actually on the bridge, right?
No,
Well,
I knew what I was going to do.
Oh, that was the plan.
I knew when she said it. Like, I'm Jersey. My first language is profanity. So I hit this woman with hot fire. Like, her ear might have been bleeding, or she had to go to church, one or the other. So
get to confession.
Yeah. So after that, a doctor called me up and said, "You got to call this woman Jen Smith from Past. She'll help you." So I didn't have nothing to lose. I mean, it was a Thursday. I was killing myself on Sunday when my kids and my wife went to church. I was just going to drive to the G-Dub, make a quick right in the middle, and then, because I couldn't do it at the house.
Right,
and
right.
When I
you
called
don't
this,
want to leave your family with a mess.
Plus, my kids were babies,
How old were your girls then?
14, 8, and 6.
So Past has helped you
save my life.
Yeah.
They what happened was, couldn't get the surgery, had no insurance. The pills cost about $2,500 a month to get. I had no insurance.
Crap.
So they picked up the pill prescriptions, took care of that. They got me my surgery, which I had 3 levels fused. I have a 3-inch steel plate and 6 screws in my neck, and then something happened, so they had to go back in and drill 2 holes in the vertebrae below because I had dead arm. And all this stuff is going on. They fixed my depression, and if you're taking that many pills, you got to be an idiot to think that you're not going to have a problem afterwards. So they sent me into the rehab. I got my life back. I'm the father that I was supposed to be. I'm the husband that I wasn't even close to being. And I'm trying to reach out to these players because I was suffering in silence. To get to the top of my possession, and be a starting quarterback in the NFL, I got there because I said surrender wasn't in my vocabulary, quit wasn't in my vocabulary, and all my strengths that got me there became my weakness. Because you can't tell somebody.
Gladiators don't tap out.
Yeah, man. I'm going to tell somebody, and I'm living in Jersey. You're going to tell somebody you had depression?
You can tell somebody from Jersey.
Goodness, somebody be like knocking at my door like, what can I take?
Here, I'll undepress you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You're not depressed anymore.
It's something that people don't really realize. Everybody sees, the games, but nobody knows what happens to the guys that used to play. Man, we're falling through the cracks.
Right.
And
nobody remembers. Nobody remembers.
No,
these guys gave
nobody cares.
their all.
Nobody cares. I was part of that $1 billion machine.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me that just because I'm not anymore, that you can't do nothing for me?
So Steven and I were having this discussion before you came on because we've been hearing these. We've had all you past guys on all day.
Right.
And it's honestly breaking my heart. What if somebody got a hold of the Players Association and says, you know what you're going to do? Since every player will be a former player.
At some point.
It's inevitable. Nobody's playing forever.
Absolutely.
Brett Favre tried, though.
Yeah, Brett may not be done yet, so we don't know.
Yeah.
But putting Brett Favre aside,
yes.
All players will end their career at some point. You cannot have life insurance or health insurance that ends at any point in your life.
It's got to continue.
Because your body went through so many car accidents.
Yeah.
So your premium's going to be off the charts.
Right.
Okay.
And nobody could afford that. I have 3 daughters and a wife, and it's hard for me to even work.
They're not the ones at risk.
I can't even work.
Right. So your family's insurance premium is going to be in the neighborhood of $20,000 a year.
Yeah, easily. With
Most
all
of
my
it's
stuff.
for you.
Yeah.
And you're going to be 80% of that. Why can this multi-billion-dollar empire not say to former players, you play in the league for 2 years?
Yep.
Because the average stay is 3. Yep. You play for 2 years. Your health insurance is covered for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Not your family, but you.
Yeah.
You play in the league for the 3 years.
Right.
Your family is.
Right.
You play in the league 5 years. Who knows? Maybe that's what.
But here's the thing.
What's the problem with this?
The collective and bargain agreement comes out, right? And you see people say, "Oh, they have $100 million for former players."
Yeah.
So it looks sexy.
It does.
You still have to fill out the paperwork. You still get denied. And the key word when I read this agreement was research. I don't need any friggin' research.
No, I need
help
now.
immediately. So, at the same token, we have this group called Past. Anybody who is a former player who has insurance, who doesn't have insurance, we take care of you. We have 8 doctors that talk to each other for that one individual person. It's not fix your knee. It's fix you as a
They
person.
They collaborate on you as a person.
Which never happens in the United States.
It doesn't happen anywhere in medicine.
And now we have a concussion thing that's coming up that you could actually, because, players don't want to tell anybody
yeah.
they're weak.
Right.
So we have a concussion program that they could actually take at home. We get the results, and before they come to Jersey.
Tell us about that. Do it online.
It's huge.
Ray, thanks so much for being
here. The organization is
PassUSA.com. We got a whole bunch of stuff there. My Twitter's there, Facebook page. Come reach out to us. Let's help you out.
Ray Lucas, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.